Hey, this bitch on.
Rolex, cut it up. Rolex, buttercup.
It's time for the hottest radio show and podcast.
I just looked at my wrist, I got time today.
With DJ Preme. It's time for SHEF Radio. Yes, sir. Welcome to Start Here for our podcast, man. You already know, show host, Slider Most. DJ Preme is always in the what? Always in the building, man. I got my next guest in the building. I always say the next guest might be the best guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, big dog.
Yeah, call me K.
Yes, sir.
That's what it is everywhere on social media and whatnot. I'm an artist. I got a project coming out here in about a week.
Okay.
Should be out by next weekend, just depending. Distributed services are weird, whatever. But
For sure.
yeah, call me K's the name.
Cool. So I actually met you at Barron Studios. Mm-hmm. We actually did a Chef's Catering episode out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's came out yet. Maybe it did. I think it came out.
It came out, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm working on another one that I should have put out a long time ago that I haven't put out yet. I'm sorry to all of y'all, but it'll come out sometime soon. And so met you at the Barron and did a Chef's Catering there. But you're actually on the show now. So what actually made you want to decide to come on the show for real?
Yeah, 100%. So I guess the way I kind of look at myself right now is I've been spending the last 4 years sharpening my axe, if you want to use a metaphor, just honing on the music, making music. And this project that I have coming out is my first cohesive project. Mm-hmm. And as it's come to finality, I've been trying to find other avenues to actually promote, get my face out there, form a community, be friends with that community and those people that engage with it.
For sure.
So I went out to that Between Two Dumpsters Barron Studios event for exactly that reason. It's kind of nearing the release. Yeah. And you were out there super accessible, willing to talk to anybody. And it's that's any opportunity I have like that, I'm going to jump on it right now. Any opportunity to get my face out there, to get my music out there. Because it's I almost have a moral obligation around it in the sense that, for me, music has helped me. I'm sure all of us that are watching this and participating in this, we're all impacted by music in some way.
For sure.
And with the way my music has helped me and the energy I feel behind it, I just know someone else out there is going to get something out of it. They're going to be in that shitty dark hole and they're going to hear the right sound. And if that's where my obligation comes in, where it's now that I feel good about it, I've felt something from it. Someone else is going to get it too, and I want to bring it to them.
For sure, and I think that's the most important part when it comes to music, man, is having other people feel something. It doesn't matter if a million people heard your song, but if that one person felt it, you know what I'm saying? That's that good where that good feeling comes from. Because I done had a lot of artists say to or a lot of fans say to different artists, they're like, dude, I was really down and I listened to your music and it really helped me out and, all of this other stuff. So that's really the best feeling in the world. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Barron, I since we were on that topic, was that your first time going to an open mic?
Yeah, actually,
okay. It was. Did you perform or no?
So I ended up not.
Okay.
I just kind of used the opportunity to network. The thing is, I drove from Austin to get there.
Oh, okay.
So by the time I got there to put my name in the list, it was so many people in front of me. It was 1 o'clock. I still hadn't been called yet. It's I still got to drive back to Austin that night. So I had the networking opportunity, and it was a 5-minute set anyway. I wasn't super worried about it. I met a bunch of people, hooked up with you out there, the little Chef's Catering. So it was a good opportunity to network, but I didn't actually get to perform.
I tell everybody about Barron, man. If you can go up there and perform, if they say they performances start at 8, well, you better get there at 6:30 or something, maybe even earlier, because they fill up quick. You know what I'm saying? And I think really is kind of the shittiest part about it sometimes is you don't want to get there too early, but you don't want to get there too late, because if you get there too early, you're going to be the first one there.
I'm fashionably late to parties too. I'm always showing up late. That's the vibe.
Yeah. So you don't want to get there too early, because then you probably not performing in front of nobody. And then if you get there too late, you not performing either for anybody or you're not performing at all.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying? So
everyone started to pitter out around 10:30.
Yeah, exactly.
To empty out. It's come on.
Exactly. So with that being your first open mic, have you been to any since?
Not yet. But I'm reaching out to a couple people. And what I'm trying to do. I've been queuing into a lot of things I'm finding on social media of different events between Austin and Houston. Mm-hmm. and different people hosting these events, and I'm starting to reach out to them and just see where I can get my face into performances. I also I'm trying to go to some more of those Between Two Dumpster things with Baron.
I got you.
Right now, kind of in this like medium space where the project has been sent to distributing, and I'm just like waiting for it to actually hit the streaming services. Once it hits and it's out, is sort of like my all right. Let's run now. Like I've got this. I don't care about getting the music out there as much, because like once it's, I don't want to like put the music out there and then have someone else like clip it and then put it through streaming like before I get it out there. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So once it comes out, like I'm gonna really get like the action moving out there in that regard.
Have you performed before? Period. My bad, man.
Not in like a big public setting, honestly. I've performed like with other artists that I'm familiar with and close with and that I've worked with before, and we've done like little shows for each other.
Okay.
And a lot of those guys, we were planning on doing shows together, but life happens and they take different courses. So now it's just kind of me doing this with the team that I've built. So moving into the end of August and in September, I'm not even hoping. Like, I know it's going to happen. I'm going to be getting on stages. I'm going to be getting into performances. I'm going to be getting into open mics, where, like, literally wherever I can get. Because now that the project is done, the work has been finished, at least for this project, it's like now my energy can go into the publicizing of it, and actually getting out there and performing. Because, like, I'm ready to perform it. Like, I've been singing these songs since I made them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a matter of getting out there and having it out there released, and like it's all at the precipice. It's all right around the corner.
I feel you. Let's talk about the project for a little bit, man. What's the name of it?
Songs to Disassociate To.
Okay, what made you come up with that?
Yeah, so it's zoom way out for a second.
Okay.
Disassociating is sort of like I don't want to say like a trauma skill, but it's something I realized as I aged was something I used as a child to avoid a lot of the emotional situations I was in.
Yeah.
I grew up in a real conservative, like Christian environment, which is just like not aligned with who I am at all.
Yeah. Okay.
And as I get older and as I like mature and I'm like trying to do stuff with my life, that habit of disassociation will sneak its way back into my life. So it's like I kind of go through these phases where it can be a day or it can be a couple weeks where I'm basically like not even existing. Like I'm there, I'm going through my day to day, but I am numb to everything. I'm like barely interacting with people for the most part during those periods. I'm like self-isolating. Like I really disassociate from everything I value in my life. And it's become something where I'm trying to eliminate that as much as I can and be present and be here and feel all of this shit that happens in life, because bad or negative, like it's all beautiful. And the disassociating, it's almost like going on like a drug binge, which I've been on those too, but like you fall away from everything, or I do, and I'm like really disassociating, and it can be pretty scary at times. So the project really kind of goes through a lot of my emotional process. So there's not like one vibe to the project. Each song has its own energy, its own emotion, and it's sort of me diving into the present emotion and diving into the pain that I've been trying to escape from. And it's called Songs to Disassociate To because I wanted to create a project that people that disassociate a lot, or people that are numb or experiencing pain and trying to find ways to know themselves or love themselves. Like, here's a project where instead of escaping, instead of trying to drown out everything, like you can sit and cry to this. Like this is a project for you to dive into, and like it's not even really literally the songs are songs to disassociate to, but like that's just a part of my life is disassociating to. And some of these songs are very like ethereal and very big, and you can feel like you almost dissolve into this huge soundscape. Okay. So it's all kind of just connected to my emotional struggles and how I'm trying to heal through all of that in the more recent years of my life. Excuse me. Yeah.
Okay. I ain't gonna lie. That. So you broke it down, and I definitely got it after you, because when you said the title, I'm like, okay, how do you know how you come up with that? So talk to me about the creative process behind making this. Is it an EP or album?
It's I'm viewing it as an EP because Here's the thing. Not that I'm trying to get in a label. If I can stay independent, great. But labels will look at your first album sales to determine your worth as an artist.
Gotcha.
So I just didn't want to call it an album. Like, keep my
Gotcha.
options open.
Gotcha. So what was the creative process when it came to actually making this EP?
Yeah. It all sort of came. I had my whole foundation kind of upset for a little bit. I've been working with a rapper for a long time. I was producing for him for like 2-3 years.
Okay, so you're a producer too. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I made everything on the project. Vocals, wrote it all, produced it all, did everything.
Okay.
So I had like really perfected like my production skills with this rapper, and you know, like I mentioned, life happens. We take our different routes, and initially I was just kind of experimenting. I was like, can I even do this by myself? Like, how do my vocals sound? Can I write? Like, do I have that skill? Can I grow that? And it wasn't even initially me setting out to build a project. Like, I just started making songs by myself to see what I could fucking do. And a couple of them I really felt something from. Like, one out of like 9 shitty songs really made me feel something powerful. And I was like, okay, there's something here.
There's something in that one. Yeah, for sure.
And really, it was one song that I made that it was originally going to be on the project. I ended up taking it off just because emotionally it didn't quite fit.
Okay.
But there's a sound in that song, or I'm literally just screaming. There's no words.
Okay.
But the way I played with the effects, it just created this really broad sound. Something I'll probably bring into live performances is like an opener because it's just powerful.
Okay.
And that sound, honestly, was like the moment where I was like, oh, this, if I can make a project out of this, somebody is going to like be better off for it out in the world. Like, someone's going to be like on the edge and hear this and feel a little bit better for it. And like,
for sure.
That's sort of what inspired the whole thing. And the process really, like, I try not to think about anything except for what I want, you know? And even that I try and let go of, because like, you can't think about what the people are going to want. It's not going to be good.
Right.
And even if I go into a project or a song thinking about what I want, it also takes away from what the universe is trying to create through the artist. Like, I feel like there are these moments where I'm so in it, where I'll get done with the song and step back and realize like I wasn't even like really conscious through that.
Yeah.
I didn't even make that song. Like, I just happened to have the skills and the tools, and like some grand energy from the universe was like flowing through me to
just like
produce
flowed
that.
through. Yeah.
So it's like I try and let go a lot throughout that process. Like, the less expectation I have for myself, the less expectation I have from like everybody else around me.
Yeah.
And the more I just feel, which at times that creation is painful, but like it makes really powerful stuff. You know what I mean?
How many songs are on the EP?
7.
Okay.
It's like 23 minutes long.
Okay. Out of those 7, what song is your favorite?
You know, it depends on how I'm feeling. There's the last song on the project is called Background Radiation. And I think that one right now is probably my favorite. It's the one I've been listening to the most. It's titled Background Radiation. The song is a really powerful like bass crunch sound. And it's a very consistent sort of like invasive like sound with these really ethereal vocals. This really kind of spacey sound to it. And like, for me, what I like about this song is the intensity of it is the intensity of what goes on in my brain constantly.
Okay.
Like, I like the anxiety, the excitement, the you're a piece of shit, you're not going to make it, why are you doing this? All those voices that are just constantly whispering at me.
Okay.
Like, that's the background radiation that I'm like always trying to shut up and like exist within that higher self. And so whenever I'm like struggling with that, or I wake up just angry or upset, it's like I can put that on and sort of like dissipate for a couple minutes into a different space where I can just like feel okay. But each song is like a different emotion. So if I'm like really just in that aggression, I'm gonna kick you down.
Hey, go to the cage.
There's a song I have on there, My Brain, that I wrote the whole song in like 20 minutes. I was just so angry. It just came super quick to me. Okay. And that's another one that I really vibe with, which we'll see. You never know beforehand, but I feel like that might be one of the more commercially like acceptable songs.
Okay. Is that a song that you're like, or do you plan on making any music videos to any of these?
Yeah, one of them's already made.
Okay.
The first song, we have the music video done. There's a couple edits, just as far as like some stuff we're doing to like the person in the video, that we still need to make. But the cuts are all done. Most of it's pretty much finished up.
For sure.
And once we get the project out and a couple promo pieces, like just social media promo things put out, we'll start pushing that video probably mid-September. And I'm not sure which one we're gonna go to next. Ultimately, my plan is to push this mixtape or EP for a couple years. Obviously, continue making music in the background.
Yeah,
exactly. Like it's gonna keep finding new people. So I'm not rushing to get music videos done for every single song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it. I'm just gonna follow the flow and follow the energy of the process and what we develop. So ultimately, yeah, we're gonna have 7 music videos, but we'll see when we get there.
Do you direct like your music videos, or have like any input on what goes on, or you kind of just like just let it happen or whatever?
A little bit of both. I mean, it's really just me and Gray, my photographer slash editor slash video. He does all the visual stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And really, a lot of it is my direction, kind of filtered through his experience and his understanding of things. So like, I guess you could say I'm directing it, but also sometimes both of us are just like, fuck it, let's just try this and see how it turns out.
Yeah.
A lot of times some of the best stuff comes from things we didn't plan, we
For
didn't
sure.
prepare for. We just go out there and feel good and have fun doing it, and it's like, oh, these are some beautiful shots. Like, this is gonna be awesome.
That's pretty dope, man. You got any collaborations on the album?
All me.
All you.
This one I needed to do all me too.
I feel that.
After working with other people for a long period of time and producing for other people, like this was me diving into me and what I'm capable of, diving into my emotions, and in a lot of ways learning about myself and learning to heal through the creation of this project. And there were times where I tried to go back and collaborate with people I've worked with before, and like just for the last year and a half, I've just not been in that space. Like I've had to flesh out what was happening inside of me. But now that this project's out and I can like breathe and like move on to new emotions, like collaborations are definitely going to be in the works for future music.
Man, I feel that just because, I used to be an artist myself, and I did a lot of music with my homie. His name is Povey Halo, and we did some amazing ass music. The only issue is he was so fucking good. And I was like the hook god, but he carried the fuck out of the songs. Like, and I know it because I was like, at the time I'm like, but I've never looked at myself like, oh, I'm trying to be the best rapper or whatever. But can I make the best fucking hooks? Yes, the fuck I can. Yeah. So it's like, at that point after I had kind of stopped making music, or really before I stopped making music, I was like, you know what? I want to do a project solely me. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, I can do this shit too. You know what I'm saying? And show people like, all right, you know what? Preme actually kind of fucking nice. You know what I'm saying? At doing the shit by himself, or I don't have to have somebody on the song to carry it or, help me out or some shit like that. So
it's
I
like
definitely
a growing
feel
opportunity.
Oh, for sure.
And I feel the same way about the guy I was working with too. That he was a phenomenal lyricist. Like blew me away. And it's like, can I keep up with that? Like,
right.
Can I come into this and do it my way?
Right.
And, like I don't consider myself a rapper. Like there's one song that kind of raps a little bit, but it's like, it's just like, does my voice do this? Like, will it work?
Yeah. Now I feel you on that, man. What actually got you into music?
Man, I remember really what it was. My sister was playing piano when I was a kid. I was like, I don't think I was in elementary school yet, or I might have been like a year or two into elementary school, but I was sitting on the upstairs patio and she was playing piano. I was like, I want to do that. And I did piano for a little bit, did trumpet and like marching band and shit like that.
Yeah.
And in later grade school, I got into like other types of art too. I did like some graffiti sketching and all types. I did a little bit of painting too.
Okay.
But I didn't really ever view music as something like I could do with my life. Really, like I'd thought about it, but it's just like
it's kind of like some side shit.
Yeah, like it there's so many doubts that I had taken on from the people around me. Like they don't think they can do it, so they say you can't do it, and then I start to internalize that and say, oh, I guess I can't do it.
Right.
But probably 5 years ago, I don't know, time blends together now, but one of my friends showed me a beat they had made. Simple, like it was a simple beat, but it was this one sound that just moved in a way that really inspired me. And I was just like, oh no, this is what I want to do. And like that night I went and spent like $700 on Ableton and just like for a year just made trash beats trying to like work with him. And that's where it all came out of.
That's how you gotta start, man.
Yeah. He inspired me, and I didn't want to lose the opportunity and lose the passion that I had in that moment. So I just kind of dived into it at that point.
So would you say that was like your aha moment? Like I can really do this shit?
Well, yeah, when I heard, not even that I knew I could do it, I just knew I wanted to, and I was going to force my way into it, even if I was trash. Like I didn't care. But that was definitely that was the moment, 100%. I heard that and I was just like, oh no, I want to do this with my life.
For
this
sure.
This is the thing. Like
For
I
sure.
will die trying to do this.
Yeah. No, I like that. What's actually the inspiration or meaning behind Call Me K, the actual stage name?
Yeah, so it's kind of convoluted. So my last name right now is spelled Kuntz.
Okay.
Now the original German spelling was Kunz, but when we came over to America like 6 or 7 generations ago, at some point the American government was like, that's too German. We need to make it more American and put a T in there. It's like match the way it sounds. I don't know the whole story, but somewhere along the way the government got involved and the name changed.
Okay.
And my grandpa had expressed wanting to change the name back when he was young and never did. My dad expressed the same thing. And I had felt that a lot when I was young too, like, oh, let's go back and like change it to what it should be, just
Right.
for like heritage reasons, just to like be connected with my history.
Yeah.
Which I have yet to actually go do legally, but my producer name initially before I like was an artist was Kunz. And I spelled it out like Kayunez. It was a real convoluted spelling.
Gotcha.
And then I didn't really know what I was going to call myself as an artist. I tried a bunch of different names, and like I started going by K to my friends and to the people in my life. And one of my friends was just like, yo, you should just, you keep telling everybody to call you K. Just make your name, call me K. I'm like, oh, that's actually really good. And like, who knows,
Yeah.
maybe in a couple of years when people know me, I'll just take the call me off and it'll just be K.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just kind of hit me. I was like, no, that's great. I don't even have to tell people. I just introduce
Yeah.
myself like, call me K.
Call Me K. Yeah, that's pretty dope. I can't even lie. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
What's something that, you want your fans to get out of your music?
Tears. I want to provide a space where people can feel emotion. Like we're in an environment right now, especially like our generation and generations coming up after us, where it's so easy to separate from all of your feelings and like find escapism, whether it's video games, whether it's, certain types of music, whether it's like, there's a million ways we can escape our emotions. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with those things. I do them myself too. Like we all kind of need that space at times. Yeah. But I want to kind of reintroduce a space where rather than escaping, it's like, this is our time to go in and feel that pain and like deal with that shit that we've been escaping from.
For
like,
sure.
I want my live concerts to be a place where people feel like they can come and cry with like 200 other people or 10,000 other people. Like we can all just have this real powerful emotional moment together and walk away feeling uplifted, feeling like we can grow and heal from it.
Yeah.
Like that's really what I want to get out of all this. Like, yes, initially, I'm not gonna lie, there's personal reasons I'm doing this. I want to make music because I don't want to work at a job. Like,
right.
I want to do what I love for a living. But if I can help people along the way, like if I can create a little bit of a needle push for the whole earth of us getting away from like this, oh, the world's gonna end, we're all gonna die, we're gonna blow each other up, and there's war and all this shit that we don't know about is gonna happen. It's like, fuck all that. Like I manifest, like we're all gonna grow, we're all gonna evolve, we're gonna embrace a little bit more empathy in our lives, and we're gonna make it through the next 100 years, and we're gonna have to cry our way through it. Honestly, like if we can't learn to cry as a species, if we can't all sit down and feel each other's pain, like I think we have to do that at this point. Like the ease of access we have to wipe out the entire civilization on our planet, like that some people have, like we need to embrace the opposite of that energy. Like we need to embrace the love and the pain that comes with it and the vulnerability that comes with it. And I just want to be able to provide a little bit of a space where people can feel comfortable with that. And so much too, it's like, it's not cool to like cry and be in emotions and like the manliness of things. And it's like, I try and just get away from all that. Like it's time to re-embrace empathy and
real talk.
Feel things.
Real talk. Describe to me the type of music you create.
I call it slut music.
Okay. Why do you call it slut music?
My friends have called it gothic trap.
Okay. That's new.
Yeah. I mean, slut music isn't a good definition for it. I just like, I use slut as an endearing term. Yeah. Like all my friends are sluts. We're the sluts.
Okay.
I think gothic trap is probably more in line to what people will think when they hear it.
Okay.
Like it's not really trap music. Like I said, I'm not really like rapping in any of the songs. But it's very powerful in the way you would think like of a gothic castle. It's like intense structure is kind of impending. Like maybe there's a vampire inside or something. Like there's a lot of power that exudes from that imagery. And the sound, the beats that I have in there kind of give off that energy. My vocals are very like spacey and ethereal. It's sort of like imagine being lost in space for like 10,000 years and then being fused with like a demon that lived in a volcano, and like those two energies come together, and like that's my music.
Okay. That's
Like-
very fucking different.
Like it would I mean, you could slide it into the broad umbrella of like hip hop music. Like that gothic is probably the right energy.
I mean, honestly, bro, that's cool if you know what I'm saying, you call it gothic trap, bro. I've never heard anybody say that. So you made your own fucking subgenre.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that, I mean, but you have to do certain shit like that to stand out as an artist. You know what I'm saying? And do different shit, because everybody does the same shit. That's why there's millions of fucking type beats on YouTube, because everybody wants to sound like Lil Baby or Gunna or Rod Wave or fucking Taylor Swift or whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's why they make type beats, bro, because everybody wants to sound the same. So
I can't do that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's why you gotta do something to stand out and be a little bit different. So you really, I mean, I would keep that fucking gothic trap. Yeah, bro, like, cause that's really like I've never heard I've never heard fucking gothic trap music, one, and two, I've never heard anybody like use that as like, oh, this is the type of music that I make.
It sounds dope, right?
Yeah, it really do. I ain't even gonna lie. It's gothic trap, yeah.
I mean,
For
honestly,
sure.
we'll see what people call it when it comes out. You know, I'm not going to tie it down to any. I hate labeling things in general. You know what I mean?
Hey, if he don't call it gothic trap, I'm gonna call it gothic trap. When
Hey,
he
let's
big,
do
I'm
it.
gonna be like, yeah, Call Me K came on Chef Radio. He do that gothic trap music. Yeah.
I like that.
Niggas be like, what? Like, yeah, gothic trap. That's what he do.
Hell yeah.
For sure, man. So with the actual music scene being so oversaturated and so just everybody wants to make music, everybody wants to be an artist, everybody wants to be famous, everybody wants to make money. I think there's a lot of people that came on my show that make great music, but I know for a fact not everybody that has come on this show and not everybody that will come on the show is going to make it in the industry, right? Mm-hmm. So what makes you think that you're going to make it out of everybody?
Yeah, a lot of great artists that never make it. Really, I think I'm aligned with the universe. Kind of what I was saying earlier. Like, there's two ways this world is going to go right now. Either it's just going to get crazier and crazier, and the common sense people are going to lose more and more control, and these crazy fucks with all the power are going to blow everybody up, and we're all going to die within the next 100 years. Or we evolve as a species, we learn to embrace the pain and deal with, you know, all of the hardship that comes with like expressing love towards people we don't know, towards people we may have negative feelings towards. And I really believe with the power of the internet, the way we have to recognize patterns that are happening across the entire world, the access of information, and just the capability of our brains to change throughout our life. And there's, I'm not exactly sure the science of it, but like trauma and things that experience in your life get coded into your DNA and passed on. Like behaviors you use to protect yourself get passed on to people in your lineage or whatever. And if we survive, which I believe we are, it's going to come with empathy, and it's going to come with a changing of our entire belief system, the government systems we have in control, the religious institutions we have in control. Like all of this stuff has to change and be geared towards like an endless amount of like love and empathy and understanding. And that doesn't mean like, you know, there's no place for like pain and punishment and learning. Like that all comes with it, right? But it's like it has to be centered around love. And I believe that's where we're going to head. And I believe that my music and what I'm doing is going to be a beacon for exactly that. And I think the only reason I would not make it is if the earth goes the other way and everybody just gets angrier and angrier and the world starts to fall apart. And at that point, like, what am I going to do anyway? Yeah. But like, I view myself as what is probably one of many, but one person holding a torch in that direction. And because I'm walking in a direction that I think most people I interact with, I can't say everybody because I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. Yeah. Most people I interact are not going that direction. Most people, like you said, are making type beats. If that's your thing, go for it. But like, if you're not doing something unique, if you're not doing something uniquely you, that's like a key thing. You're not going to make it if you're doing what somebody else is doing. Like you might find success, but you're not going to change anything. You're not going to create something that the world looks after and follows. Like the people who have changed music, the people who have made huge advances socially or elsewhere for the positive have done something nobody has done before, have come with an energy nobody has come before. And I believe I'm one of those people coming with that energy and coming with something like, I don't see any other artists trying to make their people cry, make their people feel something. Like it's a lot of music out there is like coping music in the sense of like, rather than feeling emotion, like let's pretend we're happy and just like get real drunk. You know what I mean?
I feel it, man.
Nothing wrong with that, but
no, being a DJ, I see it every fucking day. So yeah, like people, you know, and I know of people that, you know, they may have a bad day at work or, you know, some shit's going on in their life. And what do? They go to the club, get shit-faced drunk. And
there's
home.
a time and place for that. Like there's nothing wrong with doing that. But I think we all have our own line where it passes a point of like benefit to, okay, now it's just a hole I'm falling into.
Yeah. Exactly. Man, what you actually talking about, you know, how shit's going to go. What do you think about the industry right now? What do you think about the state of it? Do you think it's in good hands? Do you think shit's going the right way or no?
I think the industry as a whole, like if you're looking at the people at the top of the industry, I mean, who really controls the industry? Is it the label masters or a couple of these like independent artists that are really getting it? Like, my thought is this. I don't think it's in great hands. No, I don't think anything is really in great hands right now if we look at who's in control of things. That's not to say there's not a lot of amazing artists doing beautiful work, doing powerful things out there. And even in the mainstream, there's a lot of that as well. But I just think, and not even that it's in the wrong direction, I just think it's missing something. I think it can go a little bit deeper. I think we can dive a little bit more into what this human experience is. And like, there's so many people out there that feign that emotional intelligence and like feign like being deep and personal, but it's like so much of it is really just surface level and like nothing against those artists, but like you can only love other people as much as you love yourself, and you can only understand other people as much as you understand yourself. And I think there's a lot of lack of understanding of self, which kind of pairs with a lot of the, let's say, excessive coping mechanisms that we all participate in. And I think the more we can kind of get the industry, I guess, if you want to say, to move towards not a state of, does it have a catchy chorus? Does it hit the same 4 pop chords that every fucking pop song does? Like, does it fit that formula? It's like, yes, you can do that formula and be successful, but also like the biggest artists ever didn't follow that formula. They came in with emotion, genuine, powerful emotion, did something wholly unique and changed people's lives because of it. And like, there can be more of that. So much of the industry is geared towards these not algorithms, but like formulas we have for making a successful song. I just don't ever want to get trapped in that shit. It's limiting.
No, I feel that, man. I think honestly, you know, you were like, when you said at the beginning, who controls the industry? I think artists could control the industry if they did the shit the right way, but especially with the way, you know, TikTok and you know,
more
all
about
of that
the
shit.
Independent artists now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, that's what I mean. You know, because I feel like if I have a song, let's say I got a song and it blows up on TikTok, you know, gets, you know, a couple million streams on Spotify, Apple Music, all of that stuff. At that point, I have the leverage. You know what I'm saying? I have a hit song that you want as a label. So why the hell should I be in a rush to sign a deal for $25K or $50K or $80K or
anything less than a good chunk of own your masters, get a percentage of everything. Like, don't just take a flat amount up front. Like, use that shit. Like, if they're coming to you, like, that's your opportunity to get a lawyer up. Have your lawyer rewrite this shit and come back to them like, all right, you want me? Like, prove it.
And you know, that's why, and I tell this story all the time, that's why I really fuck with Lil Nas X, the way he does music, because when Old Town Road came out, that was the hottest fucking song in the world. And he said to his label at the time, he wasn't signed to a label. He said to the label that ended up signing him, hey, so we're going to do it like this, like this, like this, and like that. Do you want to sign me?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that was the greatest part because he had all of the leverage. You want the hottest fucking song in the world right now, and you want to make money off of it. I don't mind it, but we're gonna do it my way, not your way. And he did all the rollout for it, and owning all of this other shit that he has for it. And he's like, you know what? You're not going to take this song from me. It's going to be my song. If you want to make money off of it, you can make money off of it. But again, on my terms, how we're going to do it in my contract is going to be like this, and like that.
And it's like the benefit of just like the internet and social media.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need a label to put your music out there. Like,
you don't.
All you need is something unique, and you need to be passionate about it.
True.
And like if you are passionate about it, other people are going to be passionate about it. Just put it in front of them.
Exactly.
And like, yeah, man, I come from a sales background. Leverage is everything. Don't give it up for nobody.
For sure,
like, keep
man.
that shit to yourself. And like, if the first 10 people don't give you what you want, stay confident because the 11th is coming.
Yeah, and I think what happens to a lot of artists is they just get so, oh my God, a label reached out to me,
$500,000 check.
Yeah, like stop. What? Because it's artists that'll get flown out to California,
Wined
to
and
Capitol,
dined, taken care of,
to Capitol Records or some shit, and they come to them and they're like, hey, we got this 360 deal for you. Get you $100,000 right now. I know you from bumfuck nowhere, but I know $100,000 is a lot to you. So here you go. Go ahead and sign that for us, and they fucking sign it.
Like you don't get a percentage, you don't own it. Half of that goes to like taxes and shit. Like you walk away with like $30K maybe.
Yeah, bro. And then you sign that shit, and now 2 years into your deal, you complain about the fucking label. No, it's your fault. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, that shit's your fault. You had the leverage. Number one, why the hell are you signing first day? That's one. Yeah. Two, you should have a lawyer with you, a manager. You should have a whole fucking team with you at that point. And you go home, you take that contract with you. You go, you have your lawyer read over it. You say what you want in the contract, and you bring it back to them. You present it to them. This is how I want it. If they say no, get your ass on.
Yeah, facts. Like really, really going in there and like the part of it too is finding the people that don't want to work with you because you've got all these streams on TikTok and because they know they can make money. Yeah. It's finding people that are passionate about what's behind the numbers. Like for me, granted, my team is only one other person right now, but like he has been working with me solely because he is just as passionate about the sound that I have created and like the brand that him and I have created together. That like I need that in everybody I work with. And if a label ever comes to me, or if I get to that point where I got a bunch of labels coming after me, I honestly don't care how much money you're offering me. I don't care what kind of situation or how. Are you passionate about the reason that I'm doing this? Like, is there any real emotion from you in this project? Because if people are passionate about it, those are the ones that are actually going to treat you right. Because they don't care about the numbers. It's about the vision of what you're creating. It's like in this case, it's about like trying to heal the world in an aspect, like trying to open up doors towards like engaging in emotion more, which I think is important right now.
Yeah, I literally have also watched somebody get signed to a label. They had music videos, music, and all of that other shit. And then after they signed that deal, the label said, "Yep, take all of that shit down." It was like, oh my God, man.
Fuck that.
It's like, you really just don't own anything anymore. And I think that's the biggest part when it comes to the music industry. You want to own stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? All of your shit, you want to own. Even other people's shit, you want to own it. You know what I'm saying? Like once you own it, that's when you making money. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big part of the industry. I just really hate when artists don't have that mentality, you know what I'm saying? To say like, okay, we're gonna do it like this, we're gonna do it like that, and they end up just signing stupid ass deals.
I think a lot of it too is, a lot of newer artists, especially like it's so many young folks, like a lot of them just don't have the perspective, and like myself included, I've fallen into this, and thankfully I've kind of matured a little bit, but like we don't look at ourselves as businesses.
A lot of people don't look at themselves as businesses.
And like the artist is the whole business.
Facts.
Act that way. You are the CEO. Like, don't let anybody take you out of that position.
And another thing too, like with the deals, I'm gonna be honest. I would say what I want and everything. You're gonna take what I'm giving you or not. It's not like you found me and you're like, hey, we want to sign. No, you probably, or maybe you did find me, but you found me for a reason.
Like, you came to me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You found me for a reason because my shit is so hot or whatever. But like, I ain't gonna lie. I had this engineer, his name is Matt Peters. I'd be like, hey, I'm letting y'all know right now, that man will fucking produce and engineer everything that I fucking got. I don't want to work with none of you fucking people. Cause, like, and that's the thing that I was going to talk about too, relationships. I have a great relationship with this person, to know, like, he knows what the fuck I like. He knows my music, all of that shit. So this is the person that I want to work with. So that's actually leads into my next question to you. Who do you think is the most important person to have a relationship with in the industry? I know that you are a producer, you engineer your own shit, but do you think it's another artist? Do you think it is another engineer, another producer, or a DJ or A&R?
I almost don't even think it matters what type of individual they are, be it, in my case, a photographer, visual artist, or a manager, or I'd like to say manager, but I don't have one. I don't even have that relationship yet. I honestly think it doesn't matter who it is or what role they play, so long as they are as passionate as you are or close to it, and they are a cheerleader for what you're doing and put every aspect of their energy into it. Like when they're there to work, like they're there to work, and that type of individual. I don't think it matters what role they play, because if those people are there with you and like that's what your team is built off of, you're all going to get it.
For sure.
Like that's more important is just having that relationship than who that relationship is with, I think.
For sure. Sacrifices. I know that as an artist, we make a lot of them. I made a lot of them as an artist, man. Music, just to make the music. Time, money, friendships, relationships. A lot of stuff that you have to put on the table and say, hey, I want to go do this music shit. I want to go do this. I'm sorry, but I have to sacrifice this. Talk to me about some of the sacrifices you've made, that was maybe hard to do, but you was like, fuck it, I got to do it.
Yeah, man. Free time, just in general. Personal free time is a big one. Man, shit, even just this month, I've been doing like 15-hour days to like pay. Cause granted, I quit a couple jobs, but it's like I'm trying to make sure I can keep paying for promo, make sure I can keep paying for like different equipment, make sure I can get gas money to come out to Houston for things like this. And like, I basically don't have any free time right now. If I do have free time, I'm working on music.
Yeah.
And as far as like relationships and things like that, yes, I've definitely sacrificed friendships, but like at the end of the day, I don't even know that they were real friendships, because a lot of those people just kind of disappeared from my life. When I stopped hanging out with them to focus on other things. There was no reach out. There was no checkup. There was no, no interaction. And in my eyes, like, it's not even that. And while that can be painful at times, especially with people that you think you're close with, and then it just sort of stops. There's definitely some struggle there, but it's almost not even a sacrifice. Like, they're doing you a favor, and they're taking a brick out of your bag of somebody that is leeching off your energy. Like if it's not a person that is communicative with your energy, even if it's like every now and then, but like, I don't need those people in my life. I don't need friends. I need people that are passionate. I need people that want to grow and want to evolve with me and like want to help people with me and like craft something beautiful. And like, honestly, I could give a fuck if we're like friends outside of music. Like, so long as we're passionate together doing something, like, that's all the people I need in my life, and I'll fucking let go of everybody that's not aligned with that, honestly. Like, I can only be around people that are in support of that energy, and then I can support them. And any backwards energy, any doubting, negativity, or those situations, which everybody does this, no shade, but we all have these things ingrained in us from when we're young, that our parents or whoever tell us of what we can and can't do, what we're capable of, what life is like, and we live with that. And if we don't think we can't do something, if we don't think we can do something, we often put that around onto the people around us. In some cases, the people that are actually doing that thing. And a lot of the people that I've had in my life have been those people where they see what I'm doing, and it's well, what about this, and what if this happens, and all these doubts and all these.
Man, it's so crazy, bro. I have somebody that I'm really close with, and I appreciate the fuck out of him. He does ask me a lot of questions like what happens if this shit goes wrong, or kind of those type of questions. And I tell him all the fucking time, I don't think about what the fuck goes wrong. I think about what the fuck goes right, can go right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't ever think about the negative part. If I think about, like, when I started Chef Radio, I was like, I need a camera, need some lights, need a table, need this, need mics, need that. And I was like, and, you know, I'm not saying he did it, but, you know, somebody around me could have been like, well, how are you going to pay for that? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? I don't fucking know, but I'm going to fucking do it.
I trust myself to figure it out.
You know
Like, get the fuck out of my way. If you don't think I can, step aside, because I'm moving. I don't care. I don't care what gets in my way.
I'm going to fucking do it.
There's
you know what I'm saying?
no time for negativity.
Yeah, it's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't know how it's going to get done, but I'm going to fucking do it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, the more what you think about is like, your thoughts are powerful in creating like what's around you. And if you think about negativity, if you think about the things going wrong, more often than not, in a roundabout way, you're creating those problems. Like, it's not that being positive stops the problems from happening, but I feel like in my life personally, when I've been really anxious or concerned about something, sometimes that'll cause me to fuck up, and that actually causes the problem I was worried about. But if I just stayed positive, if I just focused on the goal, like, a lot of these things you can kind of just work past. Like, when you know it's going to happen, when you say, I don't give a fuck about this negativity, it's going to come, but it's not anything more than a speed bump.
For sure.
But if you focus on it and you think about it, when it comes, it's this huge wall that you don't know what you're going to get over. And like, so much of that is just your perspective.
You know, it's crazy. I actually just listened to, I don't know what the fuck it was. I think it might have been a podcast or something. But this guy did a study on 10 people over a year. I think it was a year or 2 years. I think it might have just been a year. Mm-hmm. And he said, I think it was like a study based on luck. And he said, at the end of the study, he said, luck doesn't exist. He said, these 5 people, 5 of them were introverts, but also they were a little bit more negative. The other 5 people were extroverts, and they were always positive in, like, what's the word? Like, when you think some shit's going to go right all the time. Fuck. I forgot the word. But he was like,
Optimistic?
Yeah, optimistic. There we go. Yeah. So he was like, those other 5 people were very optimistic and positive and extroverts. He was like, the reason why these people thought that they had bad luck is because of who they were and what they did. He said the reason why the people that think they have good luck is because of how they were and what they did. It was like, you know, a lot of the shit that happens is because of who you are and what you do. It's not really, you know, oh, I just got bad luck, or I just got this going on, is that going on? No, it's just you're negative, or you're an introvert, or you don't talk too much, or stuff like that. So, you know, I just tell people, you know, trying to get that little insight.
No, I like that you bring that up too, because like, there's so much of it is perspective, really. Like, so much of success is the perspective you have around it, because like, you can perceive one problem to be really big and hard to overcome, and you can perceive that same problem to be not a big deal. And depending on how you perceive it, wholly affects how you act in relation to it. And like, kind of what you're saying about that negativity, like, being in a negative space, having been there myself, like, I fall into 2 things. One is like self-loathing and just like hating myself and like not thinking I'm worthy of things. And the other one is feeling like a victim, like the world is against me. Why does this keep happening to me? Like, oh, I guess I'm just like destined for a shitty life and all this. And like, those are kind of like go-to holes that I trip into. And that type of mentality makes everything so much more difficult. Like, everything becomes more difficult in my life when I'm thinking negatively. And it's crazy too, on the opposite scale, when you're really positive and you're really doing what you can to reinforce that positivity, because that shit does not come natural to me. Like, the more I'm meditating, journaling, telling myself positive things, even when I don't feel it, like, everything becomes easier. You feel better throughout every process. Even when shit comes your way, it's like you're just feeling better about it. And your brain acts in a different way when you're positive versus when you're negative. Like, the chemical makeup is different. And it actually gives your brain, like, I don't know the science behind this, but just like, and how I feel about it. Like, I feel like I have more access to what's happening in my brain when I'm feeling good. And if I wake up negative, mad, just, I don't want to go into work today, that type of vibe, like, it's so much harder to think cohesively.
Man, I also think, you know, like you were saying, like, it's some shit you got, you know, you put out to the universe, you know what I'm saying, type shit too. Prime example, bro, like, the other day, and this is kind of off topic, but the other day I was at McDonald's getting food, right? And I went through the drive-thru, you know, and before I even start this, a lot of your artists, you fucking make McDonald's type food. Like, you make quick food. You stop. Quick music. Stop it. So, you know, I go through the drive-thru, get my food, look at it, they fucked it up. So I'm like, all right. So I asked the dude, I was like, you know, I'm at the window. He's like, you know, you got to go all the way back around. I'm like, why the fuck do I have to go all the way back around? But fuck it. So I was like, all right. So I go back around, but I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not even finna go in the drive-thru. I'm gonna go inside. So I go inside, and I talk to the lady, and I'm like, hey, you know, you guys ended up messing up the food. I wasn't mad or anything. I was like, hey, just, you know, can I get a redo on this? And they were like, yeah, you know, you can keep the food. And I was like, okay. And I seen this homeless guy walk in, and he asked for a cup of water. And while they're making my food, I just kind of scope him out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I look at him. She comes back with my food, and I give him the food, you know, that was fucked up. And I was like, you know, here, bro, like I'm not gonna fucking eat this. You know what I'm saying? So I always try to put good energy out there because
the universe responds to it.
Yeah, for sure. And this is how I know that responds to it. And I do believe in God, man. So I believe in getting your blessings, man, and stuff like that. So I literally gives this man his food, and a day later, because another thing, I felt like it was meant for me to give him this food because there was no reason I should have went inside. There was no reason, you know what I'm saying, like. He just came in at that moment that I was in there and they fucked up my food. You know what I'm saying? It was just like a lot of shit aligned. So it was like, it was meant for me to give him this shit. So I gave him the food. And it was kind of like, I always think of shit like that as a test. Because I'm going through my mind. I'm like, this is a test. This is a test. Are you going to give him the food? Are you going to do the right thing? Or are you going to be a fucking asshole and you walk out and you're going to throw the other food away because you wasn't going to eat it anyway? So I ended up giving him the food. A day later, I made this fucking post about this guy who owed me $300, and I haven't seen it since. I was supposed to get it back in April. He fucking sent me the money the next day, and I was like, "That's crazy." You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting that because he owed me since April. And he wasn't about to pay me.
Dude, the universe does test you though. Like I don't believe in God in like a religious sense, but a lot of what you said kind of aligned with how I look at the universe and. How that ties into positivity too, like had you been super negative in that situation, it would have been really easy to just get frustrated, throw the food out, and be whatever the fuck. But that negativity comes off of not living in the present and getting tied to this thing that happened 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago. Yeah. But if you can maintain that positivity, there's like a constant flow of energy. And if you can just like surf on like the constant changes of life, you're going to be provided with so many, like you said, alignments with the things that are happening. Things may not happen the way you want them to. They're probably not going to happen in the time that you want them to. But if you stay positive and you're ready to work with whatever is given to you in those periods where you feel like you're being tested, because I feel that a lot. Like, like there's so many times where it's like, we're going to do a photo shoot. We've been planning for months and it's raining that day. And we say, fuck it. Let's just go out. We're going to see what happens. And sure enough, I view that as a test because it was horrible weather. By the time we get out there to the shoot, perfect weather, exactly how we needed it. And had we backed out, we would not even have gotten that shoot done. But because we're committed, like we tested back the universe. Like, oh, you're gonna try and stop us? No, we're doing this regardless of what happens in the world. And like, I think there's a lot of rewards that come with that. Like, I think when the universe recognizes that you really want something, you are actively creating energy and flow in the universe. Like, that extends far beyond our small limited existence. Like, everything we do affects energy in the universe far beyond our planet, honestly. And like, I believe everything we do affects a deeper level of energy that we don't understand yet. Gotcha. And all of it responds to like your positivity or your negativity. It's where your mind is.
For sure. Are you from Houston or are you from Austin?
I guess mostly from space, bro. From a bunch of different places.
No, I feel you. The reason why I asked is because I was going to ask you, do you think that Houston or wherever you're from, as far as like city-wise, do you think that there's a problem promoting music? Like the city has a problem promoting other artists?
What do you mean exactly?
Do you like? I don't think that Houston shows a lot of love to artists, like local artists, like promoting them and bringing them up, like the up.
Houston's very cliquey, from my understanding. Like, you got to know the right people. There's like pockets of like people that you can get into, and like within those groups, there's probably good promotion. You know.
So you think Houston does have a problem with it?
In my experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nothing wrong with it, man.
I still, here's the thing. I say that, but I also kind of view with where I'm at and everything, and like just sort of hitting the scene. Like, I still have a lot of delving into the scene, both in Houston and Austin, like this kind of like Central Texas area, more or less. But honestly, like even if like a local city culture like has issues with it, it's like you have the internet, like you can access the whole world. Like if your city doesn't like you, fuck them. You know what I mean? Like there's 9 fucking billion people. Yeah. Somebody out there is gonna like what you're doing. Like trust yourself, you know, and just like put it out there. And if like the environment you're in doesn't suit it, trust yourself to find a different environment. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a big fan of like if I'm not accepted somewhere, or like let's say as I start to really get into it, like Houston just doesn't vibe with my style or whatever. It's like that's okay. Like somebody out there will, and I'm gonna go find them, and like that's my journey. Like I'm not one to hold on or try and change systems that don't fit me. Yeah. I'm just gonna go find a new system or make my own.
I feel it, man. I actually do think Houston actually has a problem promoting artists, just because I don't see a lot of chef radios out here. I think rap.
Yeah, this shit's dope that you're doing.
I appreciate it, man. I think rap economics does something close to this, or something like. I mean, rap. Let me not try to like. I'm not trying to shit on rap. God damn, I can't even say the name. Rap.
Maybe it's for the best.
There we go. Because they might have been doing this shit before me, so I'm not trying to shit on them in no type of way. I think they do try to help out local artists as well. But I do the shit a little bit different. I do like a radio show. So you know, but I haven't. Besides them, I haven't really seen a whole bunch of rap economics or chef radios out here. And I'm like, you know, if you go to a place like Atlanta where everybody's willing to fucking help everybody out, you know, you'll see 1 million chef radios out there. You know, you'll see 1 million rap economics going out to Between Two Dumpsters and all these other places trying to.
I feel like New York is kind of like that too.
Yeah, I feel like New York's on that type of time.
If you meet someone that wants to work in New York, like they're going to work with you that day.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Houston should get out of that crab in a bucket mentality and just fucking help out the next local artist.
Houston's probably not as bad as LA in that regard. I think LA's probably got it worse.
Bro, I think number one,
the reason fake as fuck.
LA, bro, I wouldn't want to fucking help nobody out anyway because it costs $30,000 just to fucking say hello to somebody.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So I was like, yeah, no, LA's a different fucking beast, bro. Man, LA is not the fucking place. I wouldn't even fucking want to live in LA. No. I've been to LA so many times. I'm like,
the beach is nice though, man. It's nice to get out there.
Nice everything. It's just not nice people or prices.
No, that's the thing. Like it's weird too. Like how people as a whole. I don't say everybody, but like the city as a whole just has a kind of a weird, like almost like a plastic.
Bro, everybody that I've. You know what I'm saying? LA, if you've never been to LA is not like what you see on TV. It's not even fucking close. It's not even close. And it's like, I feel like in LA, you either rich or you're broke. I don't think there's like a middle. Like, I promise the first time I went to LA, I was like, yeah, I cannot live here. I walked into fucking 7-Eleven and I seen a fucking regular size Gatorade for $6. I was like, okay, I'm thinking that
gas is like $8 a gallon or some shit.
I'm looking at the sign on the fucking refrigerator, trying to look, you know, looking at the Gatorade, saying like it's 2 for $6 or some shit. No, I walked up to the fucking counter with the one. I was like, hey, yo, is this really $6 for this one Gatorade? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'm going to put this back. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying?
I got lucky. I lived out in California for a little bit in a mobile home, and I split it with like 5 other people. 4 of us were artists, so I was paying $500 a month to sleep on the floor, and I was splitting the living room floor with somebody else.
Oh my goodness!
But we were like 200 meters from Huntington Beach, like the beach, and goddamn, that shit made everything worth it. I'll sleep on 1 million mobile home floors if I'm that close to the beach. Like everything fades away when you're there, just staring at like the endless ocean.
For sure, man. Cali's a different animal, man. Cali's a different animal. I love the weather. I love a lot of stuff about. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. I love some stuff.
There are things
about
to love.
Cali, not too much LA, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's like the beach. You know, the redwoods are nice.
Yeah,
stay away from the cities.
Nice food, just not nice prices.
Yeah. For real.
So yeah, man. I'm gonna ask you one more question before we get out of here. It's something I ask all artists, all DJs, all producers, everybody that come on the show. When you are big. You know, Call Me K's out in New York. You on fucking Times Square. You see your name on a big ass building because your album's about to come out, or your album just came out, and you're super fucking big. What do you plan on coming back to your city to do something for your hometown? If not, it's okay.
Not specifically for my hometown. The way I look at it, like yes, I do want to do something for the people, and I'll tell you what it is. But I want to elaborate on the fact that like I really don't view myself as from like a city.
Okay.
I have a hard time aligning myself with any like city's energy. Like I really feel like an alien in a lot of environments. So it's like I don't want to like just come back to Austin or just come back to Houston and like just help people in Houston. Like I really would like to get into education and make education like more have a focus. Maybe not have a focus, but have an aspect of like mental health understanding and like trauma understanding and just like methods and ways and teaching how to deal with your emotions in a healthy way. And creating that not just in a city or even in a country, but trying to do it everywhere across the world. Like I feel like in a lot of ways looking bigger, like why not look at the whole world? Like why not make the whole world a better place rather than just one city? Like I think the whole world is in pain, and maybe I'll start in Austin or Houston. Maybe as I start to figure out how I'm going to do it, I'll start someplace I'm familiar with. Yeah. But long term, like I want to reach out everywhere. I want to help people everywhere because there's people all across the world that are dealing with shit that like we have no idea about, or no idea how hard like their lives are. But like that doesn't mean our sounds and our love can't touch them and reach out to them and heal them and help them cope with whatever they're dealing with and help them understand and heal it. And like I really just want to push the needle a little bit for global emotional healing.
For sure.
In some kind of way.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Go ahead and shout yourself out, man. Tell everybody where they can find you, find your music, all of that, man.
Yeah, so TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, it's all the same. It's Call Me K, just the letter Call Me K Music. We've got the project coming out here in about a week. When is this going to drop? It's going to drop.
Probably maybe after or around it. It'll drop around it.
Sure. Third week in August, the project should be out. Songs to disassociate to.
I'll try to put it out at least around the day.
I'll send you some links when it comes out to you, so you have it.
Sure.
But follow me on social media. I'm trying to post every day right now. When the project comes out, I'm gonna be doing a lot to promote it and put it out there. So in the meantime, find me on social media, and you'll hear about the project as soon as it drops. But it's if you're on a journey to find yourself, if you're trying to learn how to love yourself, if you're trying to escape from some shit and you want to like just touch base with like the child inside of your heart, like this project is for you.
For sure, man. I appreciate you for coming on the show, big dog, doing your damn thing here on Chef Radio and No Chef's Catering, man. Y'all stick around. You already know Dessert Mix up next. Keep it locked. It's the hottest. It's the biggest DJ Preme. Call me K. It is.
Let's go.
Chef Radio.